10,000 employees, meaning 1 in every 10. The ramifications of Deutsche Bank imploding how can anybody underestimate what that would do to the financial system? The world's largest bank holder of derivatives, over 50, close to $60 trillion worth of derivatives. They are counterparty to. Counterparty. Remember Buffett. Derivatives are weapons of mass financial destruction. That's right after he loaded up on derivatives. Buffett is working with the good guys to help destroy the system. The system, the old system, the criminal banking system is not long for this world, my friends. Let's take a look at this article on Zero Hedge. Deutsche Bank to fire 10,000 employees, 1 in every 10. Well, that escalated fast. 1 month after Bloomberg reported that Deutsche Bank would cut 1,000 jobs in the U.S., roughly 10% of its total U.S. labor force, as part of a new CEO Christian Sewing's restructuring process. The Wall Street Journal this morning writes that executives at the biggest German lender have zeroed in on plans to eliminate close to 10,000 jobs, about 1 in every 10 employees, as part of the bank's epic cost-cutting scramble. Remember, they've been cost-cutting since 2008. And the revenues keep going down, down, down. We know because of the derivative losses. But at some point, you're going to end up with no employees. You can cut out all the costs you want. You still got to make money. And because of their derivative situation, they will never make money. So let's take a look at the shrinking headcount. Actually, the headcount went up from 2014 to 2015. There's a total of about 100,000 people, were about 100,000 people in 2010. Now it's down below 100 at 90, in 2018, 97.5. So they'll go down to, 87.5? It's a lot of people, granted. And yes, I understand. I mean, if they implement the blockchain, they can take out 30,000 people, but they aren't. At least not at the speed needed for the downgrade. And then the downgrade triggers all these things. Because if you're a derivative guarantor, which Deutsche Bank is on a lot of these derivatives because they get the money up front, you got to maintain a credit rating or you got to pay out. So the credit rating issue is the big deal. And then you have all the European issues and problems that they have guaranteed. So let's take a look. So far, investors remain unconvinced the plan will work. And as a result, the bank's shares have fallen by nearly a third this year, making Deutsche Bank stock one of the worst performing European stocks, and at its lowest since a crisis of confidence hit in 2016. Meanwhile, high-level clashes over staffing and budgets and conflicting opinions from outside investors and bank executives reveal the depth of Deutsche Bank's continuing struggles. As the Wall Street Journal adds, the bank's supervisory board and senior executives will confront investors Thursday. God, I wish I was there. Thursday in Frankfurt at its annual shareholder meeting. They will face a proposal to break up the company and probing questions about last month's chief executive handoff and the tough choices the lender has to make. Separately, Bloomberg report that the bank is about to, quote, retreat from a swath of equity markets around the world, including some of its own, on its own doorstep in Europe. Germany's biggest lender, which is expected to announce a range of restructuring measures to coincide with its annual shareholders meeting Thursday, will sharply reduce its presence in the U.S. market and has also started cutting actively in the Central Europe, Middle East, African region, the people said, asking not to be identified, discussing private information. So this is their Hail Mary pass to S&P. Don't downgrade us. Please don't downgrade us. We're fixing everything. Remember, they've been saying they were fixing everything for the past 5 years. No, there's great restructuring. We're fixing everything. We're fixing everything. Also remember that Deutsche Bank is knee-deep in silver derivatives. Knee-deep in silver derivatives linked up with Trafigura and Glencore, two of the most criminal market rigging apparati of the bad guys. So the crash of Deutsche Bank is very, very good for silver. Go out and get your silver now. Silver at 1650 or wherever it is is a screaming buy, especially if the world's largest derivative silver rigger, derivative side, Deutsche Bank, is going to go down, which leaves JP Morgan as the largest physical rigger, and they'll go down too because they have a huge silver derivative book along with Citibank. Just keep an eye on silver. As these derivatives start to go sideways, it very well might be that silver might be cut loose. Wouldn't that be amazing? Silver freely traded, first time in over 150 years. Can you say $600-700 silver instantly? But then again, that would take out every bank, and the banks are going anyway. It's this process of grinding up this criminal system. I think right now with the cryptos, they're going for the last ditch effort, slam it down as much as possible. I was trying to buy some Very the other day, and you can't buy any Very without moving the price because it's not traded on any big exchanges. It's tiny. So if you got like $5,000, you're going to move the price 10% on Very. Imagine 500 million, $1 billion trying to get into Veritasium. It's going to get ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And the exchanges don't have them. That's the other thing. You'll go buy your Very and try to pull it out, and they won't be able to get it because they'll go to another exchange thinking they can always buy it from another exchange and then give it to you. They can't. It's just not there. So get your Veritasium, my friends. So yeah, it's all coming down to the shareholder meeting. The shareholder meeting should be contentious. They're going to say, we fixed the problem because we're firing everybody. We're shutting down operations everywhere. And yet they still have that billion and billions and billions of dollars in losses from the derivative book going out for the next 20 more years. It is ugly. It is ugly at Deutsche Bank. That's why the Fed came down on them so badly a couple of weeks ago, is because they know that's the mother of all bank crashes, because they'll take out every other bank, every other brokerage house, every crypto wallet. Make sure you get your cryptos out of everything. Will it get that bad? Yeah, I don't know. If Deutsche Bank is allowed to collapse, I don't think they will be. But what are the ramifications? It means $100 trillion bailout with all the derivatives. Is that really going to happen? Will that really be something that's okay with the American voters? Because obviously America is the lead on this as far as bank bailouts. If we choose not to bail out the banks this time, all the ramifications go with it. So yes, it is a gigantic deal. This latest effort, Deutsche Bank, to cut all these people, it's just a sign of desperation. S&P is not going to fall for it. They've already fallen for it for 5 years. Oh, we're going to restructure. Well, where's the restructure? The restructure didn't do anything. You're worse than ever. Oh, that's okay. We're going to restructure. Where's the restructure? You didn't do anything. So round and round this ball goes. Where it stops, I don't know, but it's not going to be pretty. Deutsche Bank in the news again. Tomorrow will be the big day. A lot of word and talk about Deutsche Bank. S&P will probably have to wait till next week for the downgrade, and I don't know what it'll be downgraded to and what triggers a lot of the derivatives. Obviously, if it's below investment grade, you're going to get a whole lot of derivatives triggered. Probably won't go below investment grade, but there are different levels of derivatives being triggered. And obviously, every time Deutsche Bank gets downgraded, their cost of money goes up. So it's going to be just, it's one of those, things that the worse it gets, the worse it will get, because you can't make as much money because your cost of funds has gone up because you got downgraded. So then they'll have to rethink their strategy again, and it's a round and round we go. So I would say anybody in the stock market, it might be too late for you. Anybody in the bond market, too late. Anybody with third-party assets that aren't out of the system, I think you're crazy. I think you're absolutely crazy to have anything in the system other than what you need, the bare minimum. Is there enough time to get your retirement funds out? I don't know. That it takes about a month or two for that process. Call Will Lair at Perpetual Assets. Go to perpetualassets.com or go to Road to Ruta. Go to Road to Ruta and just on the left side, there's a link to perpetual assets. Call Will and say, hey, do I have enough time to get my money out of the system and into a self-directed IRA? Because you can buy cryptos, you can buy silver, you can keep it in your own possession, and you don't have to pay the fees and fines of withdrawing your retirement account. That's how desperate we are, and that's how desperate we're going to be getting. So Deutsche Bank news imminent. Tomorrow there'll be a lot of news about Deutsche Bank, and then probably next week, maybe Friday night, watch for the S&P downgrade. I don't see any way S&P is going to let them skate on this one. There's just too many problems. And the revelation that they have a continual $500 million loss every single, was it every single quarter? 500 million or every year? From the derivative book, that's not going to end till 2030, and they're still writing derivatives. That's the amazing thing, because they need those upfront fees. They're still writing derivatives that are, I mean, this problem is just so gigantic, it never ends. Anyway, this is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you guys later.